So in this video, I'm going to lay out the traps in order, really in the order I face them in, and tell you what, there's a lot of traps, but I'm going to tell you the biggest traps you can and will fall into here. And also I'm going to explain why the traps are there. I'm going to explain why there's truth within traps if you know how to look for truth. But first off, I want to say, I have taken my own advice. I have followed my heart, and it has got me to this point right here, so I'm going to make an announcement. I have started writing poetry. I'm getting ready to start writing a book, and I'm going to go do motivational speaking or speaking in any kind in a public setting. So I did turn in my 2-week notice at one job, and I did go yesterday to talk to someone to see if I could get a medical exemption for a mask, and I don't think that's going to work out, so I'm no longer working there. My last day is Friday, and I have been putting PayPal donations underneath my description. You are not obligated to donate. This content will be free, but I would really appreciate it if you could in any capacity at all. So I just want to throw that out there, and I probably will mention this in every video going forward for about 30 seconds. So, this is a big risk for me, I want you to know. Like, really, this took a lot of... It took a lot of waking up to get to this point, I guess, because it's all fucking madness, and I'll explain going further. So just try to help a brother out if you can. You're not obligated to. I don't expect you to, but if you can and you feel in your heart it's the right thing to do, help a brother out. So the traps in the order that I see them, and then I'm going to go into the reason why the traps are here. The first trap you're going to run into is the God trap. You can't get away from this God trap. It doesn't matter where you're at, so don't pretend or think you can. Even if you're born a god, or in some cases God's trap. So depending upon, like I said, where you're born, more than likely you're going to get stuck with the religion. So, and then you could think to yourself, well, maybe if I get born into an atheistic family, I wouldn't really see any harm in that. But you're wrong, because these people are so against God. You will hear about God, and you'll hear these people dismiss God. So spiritual family, same thing. You're a piece of God. You're a part of God. You're a speck of God. God's in us all. So, and from this springs a bunch of traps. This is what I fell into in the order I fell into them, to the best of my recollection. So first off, it was the God trap. Got traumatized by religion, horribly traumatized by it. So then I thought the way to go is to switch teams and go over here to this scientifically minded community that's another religion. Realize this. And they were so against God, and I was against God. I was all for telling everyone God's bullshit and trying to disprove God. So then you'll fall into a, well, there's something out there trap. You know, like there's something higher than you that created this. You'll fall into that trap. That's the trap I fell into. Now, and then I fell into this spirituality trap. You see, you go out of one box and into another box, then into another box, then into another box, then into another box. You have to see your way through the illusion and see your way out of the madness, my friends. My friend. So, and in between this, let me just say, these are all the traps. The final trap you have to overcome is realizing where all fingers point and accepting this, fully accepting this. So, in between these, you will run into the devil trap. You will dance with the devil. And please don't let your mind pull you in different directions. When I say dancing with the devil, I mean you are the devil. So, you feed into this side, the dark side, and then the trap that comes right after this devil trap is the tyrannical father trap. Or maybe it could be switched around. I'm not sure. This is just from personal experience. So then you run into this tyrannical father trap. And then realize when you're in the devil trap doesn't sound too bad, but it's horrible because you lie to yourself. You start lying to yourself. You start deceiving yourself. You start deceiving others and manipulating others. You start like, it's a horrible cycle to get in. Now, you need the devil. We're not getting rid of the devil, my friend, but we're going to make God and this tyrannical father make friends, along with a couple other parts of you. And we're going to breathe life into the whole of you, because you are you. So these are the traps. These are the biggest traps. I mean, there's more traps. Like, you'll run into a simulation trap. You'll run into a crazy theories and ideas that your mind presents you trap. The human mind trap is the trap. Realize this. All these things spring from the human mind. So even though it's easy to point fingers and say, well, it's the God trap that started all this, and well, it's that trap that started all this, and this made me go this way. It's the human mind, my brother. Get rid of the thing. So, because I'm telling you up front and flat out, there is no such thing. There's no such thing as a human at all. Like, you can verify this. There is not a human. So why are you pretending to be a human and going along with being a human? That's the mask, take the mask off already. So these are the traps in a nutshell. But really realize the majority of these traps stem from the God trap, and the God trap stems from the human mind. So, and let me tell you why it has to be this way, because when you break out of it and you realize it's not real, I mean, you want to keep yourself in the movie or illusion or dream as to a certain point, just so you can have these experiences, and so you can gain knowledge, even though I can get into this. Gain wisdom. That's the best way to put it. And you can feel what the wrong things to do are, so you know what the right things to do are later on. Plus, it's a fucking movie. Enjoy the show. But the reason these traps are there, for one, they are to keep you stuck. You have to see your way through them. You have to break out of the madness. And in order to get to the point to where you can see, this is how beautifully done this is. Like, maybe take a step back, take the mask off, and appreciate this. This is so fucking well done and so well designed and so thought through, the entire mental game, that it is so fucking beautiful. Now, when you're going through it, it's horrible. But when you get to a certain point, you can look back and be like, holy shit, that was amazing. Because essentially, you have to go against madness. You have to go against complete and utter madness here. And 95% of it is complete and utter madness. You have to go against what everyone else tells you. You have to go against all these stories and all these beliefs. And then you have to trust and believe in yourself enough to actually take your own advice and follow your heart. And even that's scary. It is. But what it is you get presented with all this information. You get presented with like this huge, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. Let's use an onion as a reference. So you get presented with this big ass onion, huge onion, and it's like, well, eat the onion. And you're like, well, I can't eat this whole onion. Like, I have to peel some layers back and digest it and comprehend what the hell this even is. So after a certain time, you can piece the puzzle together to see the whole picture. And I hope you realize you are the whole picture. So, but you literally have to go against madness. You have to go against everything and everyone to a degree. And then you have to believe and trust yourself enough to know that you know what the hell you're talking about. And that only gives you two options. Do you trust and believe in yourself, or are you going to trust and believe in another? That's the choice you have. You can choose love, which will send you to freedom, or you can send fear, which will keep you stuck in madness. That's the options. You can believe what you're saying or not believe what you're saying. And either way, you'll be right. Now, the reason, like I said, the reason these traps are here, it's multifaceted. Let me actually go back to the traps. The two biggest traps, I feel like, even though they stem from the God trap, is the Buddha and Jesus trap. especially the Jesus trap, especially if you study what Jesus actually talked about and said. And then you'll later realize they were stories. It's a backstory. They're pointing a finger. But it's so hard to separate this from yourself because you have that lingering question in the back of your mind. Well, what if? What if? And that's why you have to lose the mind. That's why you have to hit rock bottom. Because until you hit rock bottom, until you break your heart, and until you free your mind, you still have a human mind to a degree. And I'm not talking negatively about a human mind, but you don't want a human mind. Just trust me on that. But the funny thing about these traps is there is truth within these traps if you know how to look for the truth. So even with the Bible and religion, there's truth in it. Even with these theories about science and all this, there's truth in it pointing towards something. I mean, if you can read between the lines, there's truth in most things. If you take it literally, you will be trapped by your own mind. So maybe see through this. The biggest issue, I feel like, is there's a delay. So I have taken this pretty much as a sign to say, well, we were lightning before the thunder. So we're just going to sit back and enjoy the rain until the roar comes. So, listen to me on this one. So what I am telling you is you created this. What I am telling you is whatever you think God is, you are God. You are you. You are projecting everything. And when you take responsibility and admit this and quit playing the games and actually break that heart and free that mind, watch what happens. I mean, I'm just telling you. Watch what happens. So the movie's going to end. The curtains will be lifted and you will be living life. To summarize this for you nicely. And again, don't let your mind pull you and think this is a movie or this is a dream. It's just, it's the way it's what we do. It's the way we set it up. So you understand this. But I'm going to leave you with this. This is something, and don't let your mind pull you in these directions, because I'm going to be very clear about this. Even though you are God, how amazing do you think it would be if there was others, now be very cautious when I say others, but how amazing would it be if there was others out there like you, and we formed a hive mind, as to say, not in a bad way, Be very careful when you hear the word hive mind, because what's going on right now is a hive mind, even though, like, cut through the bullshit and the nonsense and understand what I'm saying. What's going on out here, for the most part, is a hive mind. So it's a hive mind. It's a ridiculous hive mind. But what if we could form a mind of others and multiple people, with a large amount of people, that guided people in the direction and influenced people in a proper way, that lifted people up, that heard people out, that understood their perspective and did not judge them harshly, that tried to get to the root of the issue about what is wrong with them and fixing it? What do you think would happen to reality? I don't want to give away any surprises, but would that not be something amazing? So let's say that God was let's say we could get God, again, cut through the bullshit. Let's say we could create a God, What would you want from this God? Well, you would want it to be loving, kind, caring, compassionate, but that does not put up with bullshit, right? God and the devil, you need them. You would want someone that does not judge, you would want something that would not judge, that would not criticize, that would not punish, that would try to help for no selfish reasons whatsoever. To help just because the thing to do is to help. And because the only thing here is, there's only two real things in existence. Please understand this. There is God and there is love. And God is love and you are God. So wouldn't it be amazing to just cut the other bullshit out, you know, the bullshit that we participate in on a daily basis that your human mind creates? That might be a path to, that might be a road to look down. Is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to point something to you. You found some others, but you need to find others, the others. Now, again, be very cautious about what I'm telling you, because there is no others. But why don't you try to, why don't you just go look and see what happens? I mean, that's just a hint I can give you, because there is something amazing's coming. Something amazing's going to happen. I mean, you should have listened to yourself. Divine intervention with perfect timing. So it is almost time for the main attraction. So I'm asking very, 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 very kindly, take the mask off and lift the curtains, please. It is a game of form and the play of life. I am you talking to you. I have always been you talking to you. I will always be you talking to you. I will always be you talking to you. And so is everyone else here. So, I love you, my brother. I love you dearly and deeply. You're about to wake up.